Colin, you know what? This is so great that we're actually getting together to be able to do some real clips for young people to give them real strategies on how to get ready for their right career, especially in these times. This is a really amazing thing that we're being able to put together. And we've got some real strategies. And one of the first things that I want to be able to say is, let's just start right at the beginning. And we need to go down to the most basic thing ever, and that is self-awareness. Number one thing that we need to do is get to know ourselves. Really start to look at the things that are going on, the things that's happening inside of us. I feel like it's kind of like we've got this voice that's saying all these things to us. So we need to start to listen. What is it that we're following on social media? What is it that we're staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning watching on YouTube? What is it that we want to learn about when no one's asking to us to learn about it? What are the interests that we have? And say to us, and really start to navigate who we are. And then you'll almost find a common theme in you. And once you find what those trigger points are and what those interests are, you then be able to look inside yourself and say, what then allows me to lead that into a career that allows me to make money from the very things that I'm passionate about and interested in? And some of us might actually say, I don't know what those interests are. So we need to start by analysing who we actually are right at the start. It's all about the mindset. That's the first thing that we need to do.
I totally agree with you. And I also think what it's also about is being resilient, right? Because it's so easy for us to get sidetracked and do things that we know we should be doing. We don't do it. So you've got to be resilient. You've got to be tough. You've got to sit back and go, you know what? I need to do this. This is what I need to do. If I'm going to start a career, I need to go out and find what I need to do. So I've got to be mindful of that. And I've got to look for something that has some sort of interest. Like what you said, Sacha, I've got to find something that I've got an interest in, something I'm passionate about. Because what we know is when young people, especially, go for that job, if they don't show passion or any type of interest in the job interview, then basically they don't get past first base. So it's really, really important that they find that, resilience of, I'm going to do this, I want to do this, and I need to get myself into a zone, if I can call it into a zone, to go and do and follow a pathway of where I need to go.
Do you know what? You're absolutely right about getting into the zone. And I would really say my next tip is gather momentum, constantly have some sort of momentum. And, this, we don't have a time limit on when this needs to be done. We don't need to be, 30 years old with the perfect life and the perfect career and the, white picket fence kind of stuff. We don't have to do that. So what I'm saying is build some sort of momentum. Make sure that every day, or as much as you can, do little segments of things to discover who you are and to build that resilience. And you'll be able to go back after 1 year and reflect how far you've actually come. So momentum is everything that you can possibly, and notice how far you've come. Do small increments on a daily basis.
I think that's about being, we talked about before, about being in the zone of where you want to go. And it might mean that I just do, 1 hour of something that it's going to take me to that next point, right? And have a focus, right? It could also be that I might spend 3 hours, right? It doesn't really, really matter. As long as at the end of the week, you've done something that's going to contribute to your growth. Yeah. And that is around doing your schoolwork, or that is around finishing your exams, or that around job hunting or looking or research industries. I think it's really, really important. There's nothing wrong with sitting around and spending an hour of your time, even going through Seek, what appeals to you. If you put in, a young person starting out trying to find a job for the very first time and you haven't worked out, what sort of career you want, then you can go and have a look at, do any of the job ads show any type of interest to you? Spend a bit of time doing that. So I think you've got to have some sort of focus point. And I think, we'll talk about this in our other programs, but even things about networking. So network with your friends and people you know. What do you do for a living and how does that work? And what do you love about your job, right? Because there is a lot of people that go to work that really don't like their job. So I think it's really important to find yourself, as what you said, and definitely go and have that focus point and where you want to go and what you actually want to do. And it's okay if you don't know, right? Because one of the things that you've said before, Sacha, which I absolutely love, sometimes it's about elimination. You try something and go, well, I don't like that, so I'm going to try something else. But you're better off doing something and get active now about doing it. So you're getting closer and closer to that, that goal and objective you want to achieve later down the track.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And I think that as long as we're not comparing ourselves with other people and understanding that every single one of us has a different story. It's been great talking to you, Colin. I can't wait to learn more.
Absolutely loved it. Thank you, Sash.